Supreme Court.
লেখা আছে উপরেও লেখা ছিল।
Yes.
Okay, so welcome to the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court is known as an appellate court, and by being an appellate court, there's no jury box in here. Therefore, there's 7 justices. In the center of the long desk, we have the name tag C.J. Abrahamson. C.J. stands for Chief Justice, and Abrahamson is the last name of the Wisconsin Chief Justice, Shirley Abrahamson. Now, Shirley Abrahamson has been part of the Wisconsin Supreme Court for over 32 years now. She ran for re-election about 2 months ago, or 2 or 3 months ago, and by winning the election, it made her the second individual in all of U.S. history to hold the longest term in any Supreme Court. Now, in the Supreme Court of Wisconsin, there's a majority of women. There are 4 women and 3 men. This isn't typically the case if you were to go to another state. Some states will have all men as their justices, and some just have 1 or 2 women as justices. Now, in the Supreme Court of Wisconsin, the justices themselves receive over 1,000 requests of cases to bring into the court. However, they can only approve about 100 of them. So when a case actually makes it into the Supreme Court, the chairs that you are sitting on are for you to come and watch the Supreme Court be in session. These 4 chairs in the podium are for the defendant and the attorney. When they are in session, they're moved over to this side so they can face the justices. Also, as an appellate court, it's only a 1-hour hearing, which means that each side only gets 30 minutes to state their argument. So to keep track of the timing, there are 3 little light bulbs on the center of the podium. The green light goes on, you have 25 minutes to state your argument. The yellow light goes on, you have 5 minutes to close your argument. And once the red light goes on, your time is up and it's the next opposing side's turn to state their argument. Now, if you look above, you'll find 4 different murals representing 4 different types of law. In the back of the room, we have the first mural representing the Roman law with Caesar Augustus Octavius right over here. To your left-hand side, we have our second mural representing the English law with King John right over here. Now here, King John looks really upset, and he does have the right to be upset, because in the year 1215, he was forced to sign the Magna Carta. And by signing the Magna Carta, he ended up giving every individual the basic rights, such rights as to own property. And back in the 13th century, these are rights the king himself didn't want to give away to his people, but he had no choice. Now, the boy in the green tights and the dog, they were never actually in the scene. This is actually the artist's son, and this is the family cat. Now, what's really interesting is that the boy used to model for his dad, but when he was younger, he used to model for his dad. But when he grew up, he became governor of Massachusetts, and he later became state secretary under Eisenhower. Wow. His name is Christian Herder. And Albert Herder is the artist of all these murals. Oh, man. No, these were in about 1913 or so, around that time. Yes, these were done first before the Northern Union. So, yeah. Now in the front of the room, we have a mural representing the signing of our Constitution. The man sitting at the desk is George Washington. To the left-hand side of the mural, we have Benjamin Franklin talking to 2 other men, one of the very few times you will see him without his glasses. To the right side of the mural, we have James Madison with his coat on his arm. And behind James Madison, we have Thomas Jefferson with his foot on the staff. Now, what's interesting about this mural is that Thomas Jefferson never signed the U.S. Constitution. During the signing of the Constitution, he was in France on a mission. However, if the artist had the right to put his son and the dog in any mural of his, then he had the right to put any other historical American figure in another mural of his. Because even though Thomas Jefferson never signed the U.S. Constitution, he did play a major role towards the Declaration of Independence. Now, the last note to your right-hand side discusses the territorial laws of Wisconsin, so tribal law versus Western law. Here we have Chief Oshkosh, and here we have James Doty sitting on the chair. Background information on James Doty. James Doty is the man who bought the property of Madison. How he came to name his property Madison is he decided to give it the last name of the last president who passed away. And in 1836, James Madison had recently passed away. But back to the mural. Here, Chief Oshkosh is being tried for murdering a member of another tribe. He didn't actually admit to committing the murder, but to him he felt like he didn't do anything wrong because that member from that tribe murdered a member from his tribe. So it was more like protecting and defending his own tribe. However, under our laws, the Western laws, that's considered murder and he ends up going to jail. It did conclude that Chief Oshkosh was set free, and they decided that tribal law and Western law will never get involved in the state of Wisconsin, and that law remains the same today. Now, the last two things I want to mention to you about this room is more on the marble. Around the room, we have 8 panels. These panels are a German marble called the Formosa marble, and the Formosa marble is also in a book match style. So once again, if you fold it over one way, then you fold it over the other way, it creates the same image on all 4 sides that you folded it from. In the front of the room, right behind the fancy chairs of the justices, we have these 8 green and gold columns. These green and gold columns are a French marble called the Blue marble. Today, the Blue marble is given the name of a semi-precious stone, which means that if the building was to even lose one of those columns, they can never find a replacement for it because that amount of marble does not exist in the world today. And because of the Blue marble, there isn't the exact estimate as to how much this building will be worth today. When the building was first completed in 1917, it totaled up a cost of $7.25 million. Once the restoration period was over in 2002, that totaled up to almost $160 million. Now today, they give this building a rough estimate, but nothing exact, of about $2 billion. But they always like to say that's priceless. 1, it is the Wisconsin State Capitol. 2, technically it is considered a Wisconsin residence second home. How much is the one? I wouldn't know.